in the Herald, the headline, measures in place to avert food shortages. The government has put mitigatory measures in place to avert food shortages in the wake of looming drought by ensuring food security at household level for vulnerable families across the country until the next harvest. Now, due to El Nino weather conditions, the country has received inadequate rains this season, and farmers across the country have watched their crops wilt due to extended dry periods. Now, this is all about food mitigation program. The government provides vulnerable households with grain that will require 24,000 tons per month. But look, it's important that we always look after the most vulnerable in our communities. And unfortunately, El Nino is creating havoc. You know, I just find it so depressing that we have a really great season, yeah? We have great weather, we have record harvest in wheat and maize, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden a drought comes along, El Nino, where we're back to where we started, which is why we need to drought-proof and not be really concerned about acts of God, if I can call it that.
You're right. And the headline in the H Metro reads, counterfeit foam bath floods the market. A backyard factory in Mbare was raided and closed down on Friday for producing and selling counterfeit Sati Skin foam bath products. Health, hygiene and beauty products manufacturer Medtech Holdings Limited acted on a tip-off from the company and worked with the police to close down the backyard factory.
You know, this ties into the story we did in markets. It's interesting, talking about the quality of products, yeah? And one of the questions that always comes to mind when I think about Zimbabwe today is, are people concerned about quality or are they concerned about price?
I think it's price.
Right.
Yeah,
which
so
means that when you see that and it's half price, you buy it.
You're going to buy it.
And if it works, it works, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It works.
Sometimes it doesn't foam as much. My maid says, she always says, "Aiskupupuma,"
yeah,
but then she just still uses the thing. And I'm thinking, no, okay, fine. Just get a good quality, even if it's going to be pricey, because it costs you to buy something that's cheaper.
But that's the problem, though, with this in an environment where people are economically struggling, particularly for money, they will buy the cheapest product.
And it's unfortunate because then it compromises a lot of things, including our own industry and standards. Exactly. And yeah, man,
because we've seen this now with this foam bath. There was a story we did a couple of weeks ago about a fake seed. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It was fake seed, and the guys had a perfect setup. It was beautiful. They had conveyor belts and everything. And I'm thinking, why not just do this and just set up your own normal business?
No, but I think maybe that speaks to the power of branding.
Yeah.
You know, you can have a great morning show like Morning Rush. You can do the same thing.
And not win number.
You can do the same thing. You can try and do the same thing on a different channel, but it's not going to be the same.
It's not going to be the same.
It'll be counterfeit.
It's all about branding.
It's a counterfeit brand.
It's a counterfeit brand.
No, but anyway, it's interesting. But guys, I think the point is, have a look at the products that are being sold, and if someone's selling you something out of the back of a van, well, you know, you got to be a little bit, you know.
Just use a little bit of wisdom.
Suspicious.
Don't do it. Yeah, just don't do it. Go to the store. Come on.
Right, tips us in sport.
And sport, of course, we're talking about the problems at Dynamos. That is what is making the back page of the Herald today. And let me just pull that up so I can read that for you guys. Okay, there it is on your screens. New problems emerge at Dynamos. So Dynamos appeared dull and lifeless when they stumbled onto a 0-2 loss at the hands of Ngezi Platinum Stars and the Castle Challenge Cup on Saturday. This was at the Baobab Stadium, and Dubai fans who travelled to the show witnessing a horror show. I think horror may be a tad exaggerated. I think there has to be acceptance sometimes when a team is actually better than you. And I think in this particular instance, Ngezi Platinum Stars were the better team. I was thoroughly impressed with the man of the match, Richard Hachiro. At just 26 years of age, he bossed that midfield. And I think as Ngezi Platinum Stars try to defend their league title as they go into their African safari, it'll be interesting how he then competes for places with the likes of Farai Madana Ngai and Marvelous Mukumba. It's options galore for Take Shua Chiragwi, who got his tactics right. For Dumbara, I think it was just silly mistakes at the back that cost them maybe a bit of rustiness and lethargy, having come into a new season. So hopefully by the time they face off with the Highlanders this weekend at Emagumeni, they would have fixed up some of their problems as well.
It just shows you, though. I mean, here you have Ngezi, the champions. They've just won their first bit of silverware. And what we're talking about is the issues at Dynamos. It kind of gives you an impression about how big that brand is.
I know. I think it's so huge. I think we saw it. I mean, no offense to any other teams, but we saw, especially when the Kama Billiard saga was unfolding. I want you to take note of this. During the days where he was strongly linked with Dynamos, the media coverage was bananas.
Oh, it went bananas.
As soon as Yada dipped in, it sort of plummeted. Like, it's
okay, let him join Yada, but okay, yeah.
Like right now, we'll be hearing stories about, if you're still joining Dynamos, we hear stories about what he's eating. And now, as soon as he went to Yada, everybody's like, nah. So brands are powerful.
Right, tennis.
Can you see I'm even rocking back and forth? I'm thinking, what's going on?
No,
here?
you don't rock back and forth when you're watching tennis.
Side to side.
You swivel your head. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294.